here's their weapon, the new A6, which, surprise, surprise, is priced to match the 5 Series.
Started out the last night, I was thinking the days gone by.
Engines go from 1.8 turbo to a 2.8-litre V6, and there's a diesel for those who'd like to save 1p a year. All run-of-the-mill stuff until you get to the styling. This is an extremely good-looking car, and in places, it's even better than that. Now, with most cars, good looks come at a price, but not here. There is style, but there is practicality too. Take a look at the bumpers. They're moulded into the body, but they're real bumpers, not some colour-coordinated piece of tissue paper. And what about the boot? Have you ever seen one as big as that? Neither have I. I haven't seen one of those either. We'll come to that later. I want to talk to you a little bit about space in the back. It is noticeably bigger in here than it is in a 5 Series BMW. So you have to say the A6 is the more practical car. However, I haven't come all the way out to Sardinia just for fun. Oh no. I've come here to wring its neck on some of the most challenging roads anywhere in Europe. The engine in this car is a new 2.4-litre, which has 5 valves for each of its 6 cylinders, 30 in total. It develops 165 horsepower, which is as much as I was expecting. Unless you're prepared to rev the nuts off it, which is a bit adolescent, progress is best described as statesman-like. So, as it isn't a performance car, you may as well fit automatic transmission, which comes with a sort of Formula One style tiptronic shift option. That you won't use. You also get the fastest acting traction control I've ever found. But I doubt you'll use that either. Neither the suspension nor the steering ever encourage you to go quickly. This is not a BMW. It's a refined, quiet, safe means of transporting 5 people. Even on bendy roads like these, it's hugely relaxing to drive. It just gets on with the job, allowing you to enjoy the scenery.
Von hier aus können keine Fahrempfehlungen gegeben werden.
You know what that was, don't you? You don't even have to think where you're going because the satellite navigation system tells you. And it backs it up, look, with a little arrow on the dashboard. That's... I don't want to sound like an old person being presented with a fax for the very first time, but that is incredible. Be even more incredible when it learns to speak English, though.
Dem Straßenverlauf weiter folgen.
My lawn needs hoovering. The relaxation lasts for about an hour, and then the backache sets in. I know hard seats are supposed to be good for you, but never forget, so is colonic irrigation. There's a lot to like about the A6 if you're a grown-up who wants a well-made, sensible car. It's cheaper to insure than the BMW, has a much nicer image, and it's bigger inside. And I'm not kidding, few cars are quite so effortless to drive. But I can't ignore those seats, which are a problem, and so too is the fact it's front-wheel drive. Now, I know that in the real world it doesn't matter 2 hoots, but to me, front-wheel drive smacks of the Mini. It smacks of cost-cutting. It smacks of cheapness. Real executive cars rear-wheel drive. Now, at this point, Audi come out of the sun on combat power, arguing vehemently that the A6 is available with four-wheel drive, the quattro system. And it is, but you can only have it on the most expensive model in the range. This one, the 2.8 V6. I think we've just got time for a quick... Yeah. I've always had a soft spot for quattros, and this does nothing to dent my enthusiasm. This £30,000 barnstormer goes 140 miles an hour, does 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds, and handles like a hare with blue tack on its paws.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa, it doesn't feel good.
I think that this specific model is perhaps a match for its specific BMW rival, but you can't judge an entire range on its most expensive model. That's like saying you think someone's pretty because they have a nice nose. Basically, then, I think the A6 is good, but when you take the microscope out, you can find flaws. The BMW, on the other hand, is perfect. It hasn't been beaten because it can't be beaten.